Portfolio Analytics is a money management research firm whose mission is to equip investors of every level with information that can empower them to make prudent decisions in the management of their investments. Portfolio Analytics' proprietary scorecards produce in-depth studies and comprehensive monthly rankings of the best performing portfolios and their management teams. Our scorecards rank mutual funds, closed-end funds, exchange-traded funds, and separately managed accounts using 9 key metrics utilized to adequately measure a fund's performance against their peers. We believe every investor wants access to objective assessments and a truly impartial search process when making buy, hold, and sell decisions. We also believe that investors want to make their decisions based purely on a portfolio's statistically assessed performance. It's all and only about the numbers at Portfolio Analytics. Thank you for your interest in Portfolio Analytics. Our firm has been in the making for over 20 years, and we are proud to offer you subscriptions to our research. Our professional staff offers consulting services and custom research to a limited number of clients. Please feel free to visit our website and contact us with any questions you might have. We appreciate your serious consideration. Portfolio Analytics Scorecard is published every month and ranks over 20 different investment categories. Although subscribers likely do not make monthly adjustments to their investment portfolios, we believe having updated monthly research and tracking capabilities provide subscribers with more than enough data to confidently make investment decisions when necessary. Our subscribers know why they own an investment and why they sell their investments. It's all about the numbers. Our firm offers various yearly subscriptions that give the investor the choice to review research in the depth they are most comfortable with. We provide as much information as an investor would ever need. The first page of the scorecard reports 2 important areas of analysis. On the left, we have the specific search criteria. On the right, we have the 20 managers with the highest overall scores along with their performance attributes that earn them this elite status. Portfolio Analytics' higher-level subscribers can track the change in a manager's ranking from month to month. The days of buying a portfolio and holding that portfolio indefinitely is no longer thought to be the optimal method of investing. Our subscribers use the information from the monthly scorecard to be active participants in their buy, sell, and hold decisions. Each scorecard studies either broad or specific investment categories. In this example, you find that our search and assessment is focused on the U.S. large cap growth market. This study includes all funds that define themselves as large cap growth with respect to their investment strategy. Every study and scorecard analysis requires an appropriate, categorically specific benchmark to yield accurate and significant results. A clear assessment of portfolio performance is accomplished by comparing each fund to an index. Investors want an apples-to-apples comparison of what is being assessed. Having a passive benchmark versus an active manager gives an investor a clear understanding of the value a money management company has provided over time. Every scorecard will include the score, rank, and performance attributes of the index being used. This allows subscribers to quickly compare the top 20 managers to the benchmark. Portfolio Analytics believes that past returns, along with the varying characteristics of these returns, indicate the skill of a manager and measure how worthy they are of your money. Having a detailed account of a manager's past performance through changing markets is the most important information an investor can have when making investment decisions. Most managers make their fund available in the form of multiple share classes. For our scorecard, we choose the fund's oldest share class to be in our analysis. Portfolio Analytics research team then pre-screens all these distinct funds and excludes those that have less than $5 million in assets, as well as all funds with less than a 5-year track record. In this example scorecard, 396 of the 524 large cap growth managers passed our screening. The Portfolio Analytics Scorecard places great importance to the time period being used in the analysis. Proper and complete assessment requires analysis of a manager's performance in both a rising market as well as a declining market. The data Portfolio Analytics utilizes for our scorecards is updated monthly. Portfolio Analytics' consulting clients often study varying periods of time, and we routinely create custom scorecards to address the preferred periods of time. There are several fund types that are analyzed in the scorecards. In this example, we analyze mutual funds, closed-end funds, and exchange-traded funds. Portfolio Analytics also provides scorecards for separately managed accounts. This legend explains the color coding used in the scorecard. Here we have two color codes. The red boxes on the right show you the top manager for each particular metric. The yellow highlights the top 10 performing managers. For our higher level subscribers, we offer an in-depth analysis on these 10 funds. Along with this top 10 analysis, Portfolio Analytics also offers individual manager fact sheets, expanded workbooks, and manager rank tracking reports. Let's now take a closer look at the research on the top 20 performing managers in this scorecard sample. In this column, we show their overall rank in the investment category being assessed. In this column, we show the Portfolio Analytics score. Our scorecard uses a proprietary formula utilizing 9 commonly used measures of return, risk, and consistency. Each of the 9 metrics is used in varying proportions in the assessment of a fund's performance over the last 5 years. 100 is a perfect score. Each month, the scorecards change, and we track those changes for our higher level subscribers and consulting clients. In these two columns, one can see the name and symbol of the fund we are assessing. Portfolio Analytics publishes its categorical scorecards in PDF format, so subscribers can use the Find feature of their PDF viewing software to search for a specific fund. If you cannot find your fund in our assessment scorecard, you should take a closer look at the search criteria and also remember the screening process that precedes the scorecard analysis. In this column, we show the first metric used to measure performance, excess return. Excess return is very important in assessing the performance of a portfolio. Investors want to see if a fund's returns are positive or negative compared to the benchmark and by how much. Our scoring system rewards management teams who achieve positive excess returns. In this column, Portfolio Analytics shows the downside capture ratio. This metric is a statistical measure of a manager's overall performance in down periods. Our analysts place each portfolio's performance alongside the benchmark's down periods' negative return performance to compare results. A downside capture ratio of less than 100 indicates that a fund has lost less and has outperformed that benchmark in periods when the benchmark had a negative return and by how much. Subscribers keenly focused on preservation of capital should key in on this return statistic. Upside capture ratio is a statistical measure of a manager's overall performance in an up market. An upside capture ratio over 100 tells us that the fund has outperformed the benchmark during periods of positive returns for the benchmark. If we see a number less than 100, then the portfolio underperformed the benchmark during up periods. If Portfolio Analytics' research team could have a favorite return attribute in assessing the performance of a manager, it may very well be the Sharpe ratio, named after the Nobel Prize-winning economist William Sharpe. Investors are always comparing one investment against another, but most are apples to oranges comparisons due to the different levels of risk that were taken to achieve those individual returns. The Sharpe ratio shows how one portfolio did against another, if they were adjusted to the same risk. From this, we can tell whether a portfolio's returns are due to smart investment decisions or a result of excess risk. Every investor knows that to make a desired return, they will have to take some risk. Investors want to hire the team that adequately rewards them for the risk they took. Alpha is another statistic that measures a manager's risk-adjusted return. Alpha takes the volatility of a mutual fund and compares its risk-adjusted performance to a benchmark index. A positive alpha of 1.0 means the fund has outperformed its benchmark index by 1%. Correspondingly, a similar negative alpha would indicate an underperformance of 1%. Beta is an attribute of returns that describes the amount of volatility relative to the index during the assessment period. A beta of less than 1 means that the fund has been less volatile than the market. A beta of greater than 1 indicates that the fund's return has been more volatile than the market. For example, if a manager's beta is 1.2, it's theoretically 20% more volatile than the market. This is a very important assessment attribute for understanding and managing performance expectations. Batting average is an attribute not commonly known in the retail investment segment of portfolio owners, but nonetheless, it is a very telling statistic. Everyone wants to see consistent manager performance. Did the management team swing for the fence every month to achieve those high return numbers? Or did they get them by performing consistently month by month? Portfolio Analytics reports this important attribute by calculating the percentage of months the manager outperformed the index during the assessment period. A batting average above 50% shows that, more often than not, the fund is beating its benchmark. The next metric used in our calculation of performance is the trainer ratio. The trainer ratio is much like the Sharpe ratio, but it uses beta as its measure of volatility instead of standard deviation. Using the trainer ratio, an investor can determine how much the fund returned for every unit of volatility versus the benchmark. Information ratio is not widely reported to the everyday fund buyer. However, the institutional investor is likely very familiar with this important metric. It measures a portfolio manager's ability to generate excess returns relative to a benchmark, but also attempts to identify the consistency of the investor. Now we move on to the full assessment portion of our scorecard. This part of the report can be anywhere from 1 page to 50 pages, depending on how many managers operate within the specific investment category being looked at. Here we list every fund being analyzed, and we sort them alphabetically for ease of locating a specific fund. In the 3 far right columns, you will find information that is not scored, but is still very useful in making your assessment of an investment. Expense ratio is a measure of what it costs an investment company to operate a mutual fund. Net assets tell us how large the portfolio is. An annualized return is the average yearly return over the 5-year assessment period. Thank you for taking a tour of Portfolio Analytics' scorecards. It is our hope that you will find the information we provided useful and that you will seriously consider subscribing to our research on an ongoing basis. Our subscriptions start at just $100 per month, and we offer several different levels of subscriptions that provide different depths of research catering to novice and seasoned investors alike. Whatever depth and level of research you need to make your investment decisions, Portfolio Analytics provides the research you can rely on. Our research team believes every buy, sell, or hold decision should be based purely on performance measurements. It's truly the most objective approach to managing one's investments. Please feel free to contact our Director of Research with any questions you may have at info@objectiveinvesting.net.